Did you know that one very simple morning habit can slow down leg muscle decline by years and give you steadier steps in weeks? And no, this is not a pill or an expensive supplement. It is a small change in what you eat and when you eat it, backed by research from major institutions like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and studies from leading geriatric teams at Harvard and the University of Cambridge. Millions who wake up stiff, with legs that feel heavy or unreliable, are not doomed to surrender mobility. You might be wearing your independence thin without realizing it. So I ask you directly, are you fueling your muscles properly in the first hour after waking, or are you letting your body use muscle for energy overnight? Stay until the end, because I will give you 5 easy breakfast options you can make in minutes, a surprise staple that many seniors already have in their pantry that boosts muscle protection, and a simple morning routine you can start tomorrow. No gym membership, no fancy equipment, and no prescription required. Just one practical ritual when you open your eyes. First, let us understand what is happening in your body before we go into recipes and routines. Sarcopenia is the medical term for the progressive loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength as we age, and it can be accelerated by what scientists call overnight catabolism, the process where the body breaks down protein to keep critical systems running while you sleep. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that timed protein intake and specific amino acids like leucine in the morning can significantly reduce muscle protein breakdown and promote synthesis in older adults. A study team at a university hospital reported that older adults who consumed a protein-rich breakfast within 60 minutes of waking had measurable improvements in leg strength and balance over 8 weeks when combined with light resistance activity. That is not guesswork, it is physiology. Your muscles need amino acids in the morning to flip the balance from breakdown to repair. If you skip breakfast or have only coffee, the window where your body is most receptive to rebuilding muscle can pass, and that silent erosion of strength can accumulate into a real loss of mobility. The good news is that small, consistent changes shift that balance back in your favor. You will hear terms like leucine, protein of high value, electrolytes, and vitamin D, and I will explain them simply as we go, but the headline is clear. Timing matters, and so does what you choose to eat in the first hour. If you have felt sudden insecurity when standing up or a creeping fear of falling, you are not overreacting. Imagine the dull ache at the back of your thighs when you stand from a low chair, the tiny hesitation before you take a step, the twinge that makes you grip the banister more tightly. These are early warning signs of reduced muscle power and compromised balance. You might notice more frequent cramps at night or longer recovery after a walk. Emotionally, it can feel like a narrowing of options every time you decide whether to go to a family event or stay home because you dread stairs. That fear chips away at confidence and can isolate you. Ask yourself, are you okay with losing one confident step at a time, or do you want to act now? The difference between accepting the slow fade and reversing it often lies in one simple morning decision. The change will not be dramatic overnight, but with consistent mornings, you will notice lighter steps, fewer grabs for support, and renewed confidence at the grocery store or on a park walk. Let us be practical and kind to your body and set a plan you can actually keep. If this resonates, pause for a moment and comment below with one word that describes your main morning challenge: cramps, imbalance, heavy legs, trouble with stairs, or simply fatigue. Your single word helps us know where to focus future content and gives others permission to speak up. Many people read comments and feel less alone when they see someone else name the same small fear. When you share, you contribute to a community of people who are reclaiming mobility together. So write your word now and keep reading, because next I will share a real example, someone like you who changed his mornings and changed his life. David was 69 when he realized the backyard steps were starting to feel steeper. He had been a lineman for most of his life, hands calloused from climbing and a laugh that filled rooms, but his legs had become stubborn. For 2 years, he noticed mornings where his knees felt loose, like a door off its hinge, and nights when cramps stole sleep. He loved bread with tea and often skipped protein until noon. In the telling of his story, his daughter Emma remembers the day he hesitated on the porch and muttered, "I don't want to be a bother." That admission was his turning point. David had always been active, in short bursts, walking the block with neighbor Maria, returning to the bench to rest, and chatting with Carlos about the garden. He did not want a walker. He wanted to walk well enough to plant tomatoes again. Backstory snippet. He retired early and traded long shift work for slow mornings. In the silence of dawn, he sometimes felt the loss more than during the day because movement required a negotiation between will and weary muscles. He had high blood pressure, controlled with medication, and mild osteoarthritis in his knees, nothing catastrophic, but enough to make balance a concern. He loved breakfast routines. His wife Linda had taught him to savor small ritual, and yet he had drifted toward toast and tea, which left a protein gap. The shift back to strength began when a neighborhood health fair introduced him to physiotherapist Mark, who suggested a small protein first thing and a gentle standing routine. The first weeks were awkward, yet hopeful, and the smell of coffee began to sit beside the warmth of a boiled egg, not instead of it. Scene in the clinic with dialogue and sensory details. David sits on a vinyl chair. Sunlight pours through blinds, warming the fabric and carrying the faint smell of antiseptic and lemon cleaner. Mark, the physiotherapist, leans forward, speaking in a calm voice. You will hear the soft scrape of a chair as Emma moves closer. David, I feel weak in the mornings. I can't trust my legs like I used to. Mark, I hear you. The goal is to give your muscles the building blocks right after sleep and to wake the nervous system gently. Emma, what should he actually eat tomorrow? That will not upset his stomach. Mark, start with a small portion of high-quality protein within an hour. I will show you simple plates that work with his blood pressure meds. David, can I do that without going to the gym? Mark, absolutely. We will add light resistance movements at home, nothing fancy. In that exchange, you can see the texture of the moment, hear the raw breath before the first push, and see the cautious shrug of shoulders as hope competes with habit. The clinic smelled faintly of coffee from the mug on the counter. The floor had the soft echo of rubber-soled shoes, and the sunlight felt warm on David's forearm. Mark introduced practical steps, and later Emma took them home and found the kitchen alive again with the sound of a kettle and the smell of toasted oats mixed with cinnamon. Moment of tension. 1. The first time David tried the standing balance drill, he froze, halfway up from a chair, heart quickening, palms slick. The fear in his chest was not just physical, it was the memory of a neighbor slipping on wet grass last year. For 1 second, he considered giving up. The memory flared, a sharp image of being less independent and needing help for trivial tasks. He stayed seated and let the sting of disappointment settle. Then Emma gently suggested one tiny change, a protein snack before he rose. That small choice created a sliver of momentum, and he tried again the next morning with less hesitation. Now the practical part. 5 breakfast options you can use tomorrow, each one chosen for protein quality, leucine content, ease of preparation, and palatability, especially for sensitive stomachs. For each, I will explain why it works, quick preparation tips, a basic study reference, and a short caution if you have kidney disease or specific dietary restrictions. 1. Greek yogurt bowl. Why it works. Greek yogurt is rich in high-quality protein and contains leucine, which signals muscle protein synthesis. Studies reported by nutrition researchers at universities in Europe show breakfast dairy increases muscle retention. In older adults when consumed regularly. Preparation. Stir 1 cup of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of berries, a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, and a small teaspoon of honey for taste. Sensory notes. The yogurt is cool and creamy. The berries add bright sweetness and a soft tart burst. The flax adds a faint nutty aroma and toothy texture. Quick tip for digestion. Start with a half cup if dairy is new to you, and pair with a glass of water. Contraindications. If you have lactose intolerance, choose an enzyme-aided yogurt or a lactose-free option. 2. Soft-boiled egg and avocado. Why it works. Eggs are a compact source of complete protein and leucine, and avocados add healthy monounsaturated fats that support cellular function. Preparation. Boil for 7 minutes, peel, slice onto whole grain toast or a small baked sweet potato. Sensory notes. The egg white is firm but tender. The yolk velvety and rich. The avocado brings a mellow, buttery mouthfeel, and the toast gives a warm, grainy crunch. Quick tip: season with a pinch of pepper and a sprinkling of flaky sea salt to improve sodium balance if your doctor approves. Contraindications: consult your provider if you are on strict potassium-restricted diets due to medications. 3. Smoked salmon and cottage cheese plate. Why it works. Salmon provides protein and omega-3 fatty acids that support circulation and inflammation control. Cottage cheese is high in casein protein, offering sustained amino acids. Preparation: layer 3 ounces of smoked salmon over 1/2 cup low-salt cottage cheese, add cucumber slices and a lemon wedge. Sensory notes: the salmon is silky and slightly smoky, the cottage cheese tangy and creamy, the lemon brightens aromas, the cucumber provides crisp hydration. Quick tip: choose low-salt cottage cheese to manage blood pressure and rinse if needed. Contraindications: ask about fish interactions with blood thinners if you are taking them. 4. Oatmeal with whey or pea protein. Why it works. Cooked oats provide slow-release carbohydrates to fuel activity, and added whey or high-quality protein boosts the amino acid profile, especially leucine. Preparation: cook 1/2 cup rolled oats with water or milk, stir in 1 scoop whey or pea protein after cooking, top with sliced banana and a pinch of cinnamon. Sensory notes: the oats are warm and slightly chewy, the banana adds soft sweetness, the protein powder blends into a smooth cafe-style creaminess, and cinnamon releases a warm aroma. Quick tip: mix in the protein after a minute off the heat to preserve texture. Contraindications: choose plant protein if you have dairy sensitivity, and check protein totals with your clinician. 5. Peanut butter banana toast with milk. Why it works. Peanut butter offers protein and healthy fats, while a banana supplies potassium and simple carbohydrates for immediate energy. Combined with a glass of milk, this meal gives a quick protein boost and electrolytes to help muscle contraction. Preparation: spread 2 tablespoons peanut butter on whole grain bread, top with banana slices, and enjoy with a small glass of milk. Sensory notes: the toast is crunchy, the peanut butter is rich and slightly oily, the banana smooth and sweet, the milk cools and balances the richness. Quick tip: use natural peanut butter without added sugars to avoid blood sugar spikes. Contraindications: avoid large portions of peanut butter if you are managing calories closely or have nut allergies. Each of the 5 meals pairs a protein source with a simple carb and minerals that support muscle function. A practical rule of thumb: aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein in that first eating window and include a source of leucine such as eggs, dairy, or whey when tolerated. If you take medications or have kidney disease, check with your clinician to adjust protein amounts. Practical surprise dish: the kitchen staple that acts as an anchor for muscle-friendly mornings. The hidden hero is plain, unsweetened yogurt mixed with mashed banana and a small spoonful of powdered magnesium or a pinch of unrefined sea salt, depending on your tolerance. Why it works? The combination balances electrolytes, magnesium supports muscle relaxation and reduces cramps, while the yogurt delivers protein and the banana supplies potassium and quick energy. Mode of consumption: eat within 45 to 60 minutes of waking as a light bowl or layered parfait. Sensory profile: the bowl is cool and creamy, the banana adds a mellow sweetness, the salt or magnesium creates a faint mineral tang, and the aroma is fresh and inviting. Unique benefit: it is portable, easy to scale, and gentle on digestion for many seniors who are sensitive to heavy meals early. Contraindications: always check magnesium supplements with your doctor, especially if you have kidney concerns or are on certain heart medications. Moment of tension 2. There will be mornings when you try everything and still feel fatigue and doubt. Maybe you measured the protein, but your balance did not improve right away. In those moments, a memory can surface of someone who did worse despite trying, and you can feel tempted to quit. That internal voice is loud and impatient. The practical answer is to persist for weeks, not days. Record simple metrics like number of steady steps without support and the frequency of cramps, and let data rather than emotion guide you. Now, a straightforward morning routine you can adopt step by step in the first 60 minutes after waking. Action 1. Hydrate immediately. Drink a glass of water with a pinch of salt or a squeeze of lemon to start circulation and aid digestion. Do this within 5 minutes of waking. Action 2. Eat one of the 5 protein-forward breakfasts. Choose a portion that provides at least 20 grams of protein and include a potassium source like banana or sweet potato to support muscle contraction. Eat within 30 to 60 minutes. Action 3. Light activation. Do 5 to 10 minutes of standing leg raises, heel lifts, and sit-to-stand repetitions to stimulate muscle fibers and balance systems. Perform these near a stable chair and breathe steadily. Action 4. Short walk or cadence practice. Take a 10-minute walk focusing on even steps and mid-foot placement if possible. Find a smooth path and use shoes with good grip. Action 5. Plan and note. Reapply sunscreen or dress for the weather and set a small, achievable goal for the day, such as walking to the mailbox. Each action is short. Sensory notes. You will feel water cool in your throat, the breakfast warmth or cool creaminess on your tongue, the subtle burn in calves during raises, and the rhythmic sound of shoes on pavement during the walk. Time it like this. Hydrate within 5 minutes, breakfast by 30, walk by 90, and activation spread across those minutes. If you have severe joint pain, modify the exercises and consult a physiotherapist. Moment of tension. 3. When you introduce new habits, family dynamics can create friction. Maybe a partner prefers different foods, or a caregiver worries about medication interactions. Sometimes you will meet skepticism from friends who say it is too late to change. These external voices can echo internal doubt and make consistency harder. The practical response is communication. Explain one small measurable goal to those around you and invite support. Ask a friend like Maria or Linda to remind you, and turn it into a shared short walk or a breakfast swap day. Safety notes. And when to consult a doctor. If you have kidney disease, heart conditions, or on medications such as blood thinners, some changes require clinician guidance. High-protein diets are not appropriate for everyone, so show this plan to your primary care provider or a registered dietitian and mention any supplements like magnesium or potassium. If you experience sudden increased swelling, unusual fatigue, or chest discomfort, stop and seek medical attention immediately. Before we close, a quick checklist to put on your fridge. 1 glass water on waking, 1 chosen protein within 60 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of activation exercises, 10-minute walk, comfortable shoes, and a small daily note of progress. 3 simple metrics to record: number of steps without support, cramps per week, confidence score from 1 to 10. Conclusion and final call to action. You have learned that a small morning routine focused on timing, protein, electrolytes, and light activation can change the trajectory of leg muscle decline. Start tomorrow with one of the 5 breakfasts and the short activation sequence. Tell us in the comments below which breakfast you will try, and write your one-word challenge if you have not yet done so. Your comment helps others feel seen and guides future videos. Subscribe to follow practical weekly routines and recipes that are science-informed and easy to apply. Epilogue. 1 month. 1 month in, you may notice smaller changes but meaningful ones, fewer night cramps, and a lighter sensation when you rise from a chair. Your steps may feel more confident on short walks, and you might find you are less reliant on reaching for support when standing from a table. These are early wins that build momentum. Epilogue 3. At 3 months, the pattern is clearer. Muscles respond to consistent input. You may see measurable gains in timed up-and-go tests, reduced wobble on uneven ground, and improved stamina for daily tasks like carrying groceries. Friends may comment that you look steadier, and you will likely feel a boost in independence. Epilogue 6 months. By 6 months, consistent mornings add up to regained practical freedom. You may be walking further, feeling more comfortable with stairs, and enjoying social activities without the same hesitation. The combination of protein timing, activation, and attention to electrolytes can deliver sustained improvements that protect your independence and let you plan longer-term goals like gardening or travel. Thank you for listening to David's story and for taking steps toward your own recovery. If you tried one of these breakfasts, share your experience in the comments and help someone else decide to begin. Subscribe for more actionable guides backed by research from nutritionists and geriatric specialists, and look out for the next video where we will cover 3 common breakfast foods that look healthy but may be undermining your leg strength. Decide today, and your legs will thank you tomorrow.